Hey guys, it's Christina of CraftyPaws. I'm here to share a quick process video sharing with you guys how I made this sweet little holiday card for my hubby's aunt and uncle. They adopted two little Havanese puppies a little over a year ago after they met Bandito and realized how cute he was. This is a stamp from my creative times called Christmas Doggie, and I colored up these guys to look like the actual dogs that my hubby's aunt and uncle now have. And I'm going to pop in a picture of the real dog so you can see and judge for yourself how I colored these dogs and if it's a good likeness of them. I hope it is. This is actually a Diemond Dyes design team project using one of my all-time favorite Diemond dyes, this pine branch dye, which I think is so versatile, as well as one of their new releases, this ornament dye. And all I did was do a little layering with the pine branch dye and some vellum and do some inlaid die cutting. Did a little heat embossing for the sentiment and then use some stickles to make the little hanging portion of these ornaments. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the process video, but before I get to that, I also wanted to let you know that Diemond Dyes is having an end of year / Christmas sale. And all you have to do is enter the coupon code Christmas15 to get 15% off your entire order, plus free worldwide shipping, and there's no minimum purchase required. I hope you enjoy this process video. Thanks so much for watching. So I use this Dynamics nesting die set. It's a rectangle that has a little cross stitch in it, and I thought that would add a nice little interest or texture. I die cut it out of some vellum, and I'm just going to stamp a little holiday sentiment. It's from this Unity stamp set called Christmas Eve Chowder, and it just says Happy Holidays. And I wanted to use this stamp because it's a little bit thicker, the font. I'm going to take my EK Tools embossing powder tool and just make sure that there's no static on that. Then I'm going to take my Versamark ink and do that right in the corner. I'm going to take my coffee filter. I'm going to use a Zing embossing powder that's charcoal color, because I don't want this to be too dark and take away from the rest of the card, but I do want it to be legible. And I'm going to recoup the excess back into the jar. I'm going to heat up my heating tool a little bit, just for 30 seconds. I'm going to heat the back and the front. That helps minimize the warping of the vellum. I've done a white card base, and I'm just using this kind of scrap of damask paper. Just going to use a little bit of this snail adhesive. And then the really fancy part is this die from Diemond Dyes. I love this little ornament die. I've die cut it out of a little scrap of green glitter and silver glitter paper. And what I'm going to do is layer this. So I'm going to use a little bit of art glitter glue and adhere this down the vellum where I think it's going to be hidden. And then I'm going to adhere this down as well. But first, I'm going to just cut out the top part here, just in a little bit of a swoop. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm using the top of the green ornament as a template so that both tops are cut exactly the same. I'll lay it here so that it fits perfectly, so that I can swap them out. So just more of that art glitter glue. Right, super cute. And then I'm going to do my inlay die cutting. So I have saved all the little stars that were cut out here, and I'm just gonna add a dab of glue and do the reverse colors. So on the green ornament, I'm gonna use the silver stars. Then I took my pine branch die from Diamond Dies and I cut out just some white pine branches, and I just used a scrap so it doesn't even have full branches on it, but I'm just gonna take a little glue. This is art glitter glue with a very thin nozzle, and I'm just hitting it enough so that I know that the pine branches will be securely on the card, but not necessarily that every needle is glued down. And then I colored up these two little puppies from my creative times, and I'm just going to put those on the ornaments. And these little puppies are colored up like my hubby's aunt and uncle's two little Havanese, which they got after they saw Bandito and fell in love with him. So I'm going to take a little silver stickles and just do a line of little dots. And since I had some extra little dots and stars that were die cut from a second silver ornament, I decided I was going to sprinkle those around kind of like you would with sequins or enamel dots, and just glue some of those little dots and stars down. It also gave me an opportunity to kind of more securely adhere that vellum sheet and hide the adhesive behind these little stars and dots. I hope you enjoyed this process video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to check out Diamond Die's end of year Christmas sale.